Hi, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Finding Data Friends. We found another friend today for the podcast. Thanks, John, for joining us. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
So my name's John Martin. My pronouns are he and him, and I'm a data platform professional that's been doing this for more years than I can remember. Currently at Data Scotland in Edinburgh. So park myself in a little corner to have a chat to you all.
Nice.
What are you doing at Data Scotland, given that the event was, 5 weeks ago? I mean...
Yeah, I know. Time traveling.
It's time traveling. The magic of time travel happens occasionally on this podcast. So we're talking to you in the past.
Yes. So if you could give me the lottery numbers, it would be really, really useful.
We'll do it after the recording, just so no one else gets
Exactly, because otherwise you will have to share with our gazillions of viewers and subscribers.
Yeah,
exactly.
Honestly, how sad would that be if you're hitting the jackpot, but you're winning the, I don't know, for let's just say 100 million, whichever currency. I mean, at that point, it doesn't really matter for most currencies, at least. And then there's like 10,000 people that you have to share it with. Exactly. I mean, that leaves you like roughly $1, give or take.
Not good.
Not great maths, but we'll go with it. Anyway, before we go off on a ridiculous rabbit hole within the first 2 minutes of the podcast,
let me pull up a calculator.
Let's go ahead.
I was close enough.
You work on that. John, what is your favorite data platform thing or your favorite data thing?
Good question. I'm going to have to say...
We caught him off guard.
Relational database engines.
I was not prepared for that one.
No. Relational database engines. I say relational database engines because even though I've worked with SQL Server forever, the relational engines themselves in Postgres, MySQL, Oracle, for those who want to indulge in some dark arts. They're really important. They're still around. They've been telling for the whole of my career. I've been told the DBA job is going away. Relational databases are dead. Nah. It's the engines have all got their merits. The NoSQL stuff is good for the right use case, but it's just like anything. I like working with them. The modeling and everything that you do around that, all the stuff that goes with running those platforms, is fun. There's always new things to learn, there's new features to use, new problems to solve, because, people misuse them. But it's good fun. It's always something to learn when you're looking at those relational engines. And obviously I've got a soft spot for SQL Server because, that's what I cut my teeth on and have worked with for the best part of nearly 20 years now.
Awesome. Yeah, you can always count on people to find great use cases for the wrong kind of platform. But
exactly, it's I've seen the way I've learned the most is by watching people misuse it, and it's like, really, that's an interesting use case. I've not seen it done that way before. I've said that a few times.
That
is a very friendly way of saying.
What the?
Yeah, like, really, just because you could doesn't mean you should.
Agreed. Very much so.
Which is still a very friendly way of saying, oh God, you're dumb.
It's the business front, right?
Yeah, I know.
Professional. Ben, we are nothing but professional here. Remember.
I may or may not have told people, even in business relations on multiple occasions, that what they're doing is dumb. So I may have to work on my professional communication skills.
Yeah, we'll send you on a course.
Yep.
Maybe the two of you should just make it a pre-con at some conference. I'd be happy to attend.
Yeah.
You think me and John are the right people to do how to be professional?
No, absolutely not.
Or it's going to be like a case of like whatever these two do, don't do that.
That is an example.
I mean,
the anti-pattern.
You said that, but who am I to disagree?
Exactly. Oh, my goodness. That's all cool. So, yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
Also, to the point of the DBA being dead, not being needed anymore, yada, yada. There will always be DBAs, even if we get to some point where there's basically no on-premises anymore, and that thing is like
it's
way past my retirement date. To be honest, given the state, more and more people are moving to a cloud. Not necessarily. That does not mean 100% of stuff will be all in a cloud. And I mean, there will always, and even there, you may have use cases where you're still running just infrastructure as code for whichever reason, because you got third-party vendor tools that do not support version-less stuff, etc., etc. So, but even if we get there at some point, there will always be some maintenance that the cloud magic will not work out for you. So it's still the same thing. I mean, how many of you have worked with Query Store in SQL Server 2000? Oh, hang on, it wasn't a thing back then. So if you basically stopped evolving your skills at some point, the issue, it's like that thing, oh, AI is taking away all our jobs. No, it's probably not. Potentially a person using AI will be, but that's a different story.
It's the same thing. I mean, it's effective use of the tooling. I mean, I remember back in my early days racking and stacking SANs and servers and everything like that. And I'm glad not to be doing that anymore, cutting cables and putting everything in. And the DBA role has just gone from hard infrastructure through to soft infrastructure. You look at something like the cloud where you're defining the network and everything like that. But the most important thing there is performance tuning, which we've always done in one form or another. And okay, it may not be SQL Server, it may not necessarily remain a relational engine. You're going to deal with lakes, you're going to deal with non-relational stores like Cosmos or Mongo or whatever. Optimizing those so you're reducing the monthly spend and the annual spend is going to be key to businesses. And anybody who can do that as a DBA, it's going to be worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, we were just talking last week about how performance tuning is much more of like there's money value on it now, right? Like if you can take a query from a certain amount of time to half that time, you're talking about less CPU spend, less spend in the cloud.
Exactly.
Like it's still super valuable, and even more so because it's more easy to kind of justify it now.
Exactly. It's I saved you this much money this month or this year. It's like
exactly.
A big bonus because I know you've got the money now.
Yeah, I'll take 10% of that.
Exactly. So
but if you're doing and that may or may not always work out, but however, you're in a honestly in a very good position to do exactly that. Like I just saved you this.
Where's my cut?
A little cut.
Make it rain.
Exactly, and still save a lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Which may work in on-premise environments with licensing or maintenance cost, but once you have actually procured the hardware, once it's there,
it's a long tail.
It will still sit there and do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 to 5 years. You're just building in the longer time frame to doing the upgrade or buying the bigger kit or whatever. And I mean, it's there, but it's just slower, and it's also harder to demonstrate that when you say, well, I've improved it, so I don't need this 20 sort of socket machine monster anymore. We can do it with 4, but it's like, well, prove it.
Well, first of all, you will always need that 20 socket thingy.
Yes.
Potentially for different stuff now, but
exactly. It's all virtualized. So yeah.
And now cool. our former SQL Server is mining Bitcoin. I want to cut off that as well.
Oh yes.
Smart.
I know.
Save those CPUs and spend them somewhere else.
Well, I mean, if we've got them, we might as well make them do a little work, right?
Exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised if that is happening on a large scale at some places.
Yeah, I've read a couple of stories in the press about that. It's always interesting to see.
Thank God energy costs are basically zero. Otherwise, that would be...
Exactly.
Yeah, and the world's fine. We can make more energy.
Exactly.
There's nothing going on here.
Well.
I got deep.
Anyways, before we get into the discussion of global warming, John.
Yes.
If you're not saving the planet and you're not playing around with relational databases, what is your favorite non-data feature? By the way, kudos to me. I said it right this time. I did not say non-favorite data feature. I said favorite non-data feature. Well done, Ben. Good job.
Nice.
It only took you 35 episodes to get that right.
I think it was supposed to be thingy though, rather than feature, because that worked better. But it's fine. We'll get it next time.
It's a feature of my world. So
okay. Which feature are you picking?
My motorbikes. As in,
no, that's more of a thingy than a feature.
Yeah, well, it's fun. I like riding my motorbikes. So last year I moved back to Scotland, where the roads are better than where I was down south. Less potholes, less traffic, which is fun. And the weather's been pretty good as well for the last couple of years. So out and about, I just spend weekends riding the bike, put 100 miles on a day sort of thing for a weekend when the weather's good. It's fun. See the scenery, sort of decide to go and get a coffee somewhere, that type of thing.
There's no coffee within 100 miles.
Exactly. It's
that's why he needs that motorbike. Listen,
precisely.
Jess, and focus,
right.
please.
The saying goes, you give a person a fish, they'll feed themselves for a day. You give them a motorbike, they'll be eating fish and chips 150 miles away.
And have coffee afterward. Let's. The only thing that I'm hoping is, because apparently the fish and chip thing is 150 miles away, the coffee shop is 100 miles away. Let's hope they are not in opposite directions, because otherwise that would be a whole lot of driving.
Exactly. But what a pity having to go and play on some nice roads on the bike. I'll suffer.
Yeah, but that's still it's 500 miles a day in that case, because if you're going 100 miles in the wrong direction and back plus 150 and back, see the math that I did there, Jess? Again, well
You're
done.
still using your calculator. I see you like this.
Yeah, but still, this is basically a Microsoft certification, so it's open book now. You can use the calculator.
To be fair, you could have just paused the video, done the calculation, and then come back. We don't know.
Yeah, nobody would ever have noticed that.
No.
Your editing skills are right up there, so.
Surely you could have just asked ChatGPT or something like that.
If we get to the point where I ask ChatGPT to calculate 100 times 2, I may have.
You'll have reached the pinnacle of management.
Sticking with the fish and chips thingy, other fish to fry.
Hey Ben, do you think we should have ChatGPT on our podcast?
We should.
We could ask ChatGPT its favorite data thing.
Do it. See if it hallucinates for you.
That we might do that on the reunion episode.
But we've already got 200 guests for the reunion. Do you think we need ChatGPT too?
Well, someone's got to do the keynote.
Okay. Oh, this is like a full day reunion, huh?
At this point, yes.
Yes. It's getting that way.
Having that said, maybe we should also invite Siri and Alexa so they don't get mad at us. Trying to be inclusive and stuff.
Yeah.
Just remember to say please and thank you, so when the robot apocalypse comes, they look after you.
Exactly.
Smart.
There it is.
Follow this podcast for more life tips.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is almost a life hack.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Almost.
It's very true.
It may be a bit of a stretch, but still.
We can use a new hashtag now.
Does that make us the official podcast of the Robot Apocalypse?
Yes.
Apocalypse,
so.
whatever. Of when the machines take over time.
So who's going?
Yes, they probably all listen to this.
Which one of you is going to be John Connor?
Who of the three of us is going to be John someone? Let us get back to you on that.
Had the name already.
Yeah.
That would really help. Yeah, that would have been really good. But well, there's that.
No.
It can all work out,
Exactly.
Well, now we have the most important question of the podcast left, which is, John, what is your favorite food?
Now that is a difficult one. That's a really difficult one. So it depends what mood I'm in. Really have to figure that out. But it could be wings. Wings are good. It's real good. But at the same time, curry is also very good. So it's depending on which
wings
mood
and curry.
Yeah.
Oh, not together.
Could do. Nice curry sauce on them.
I think I've invented another food again.
Good. So yeah,
curry wings.
I am
wings. I was thinking the wings were like floating in the curry.
Ooh, nice.
You have to like find them.
How much curry are we talking? I'm not.
Oh, it's like a bucket at this point.
I'm not discouraging the idea of having enough curry that stuff is floating in there. I'm just trying to get an idea.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to think it's what do you want to. You could also get the dry sort of shashlik type option where you put them all onto a skewer and sort of tikka sort of coat them and put them in the oven, or you've got the sauce option.
A lot of options here.
Gonna have to go and explore this when I get home and be buying some chicken wings and cooking them up. I'll let you know.
Please report back.
I will.
At your earliest convenience.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, since we are combining it with curry, that's perfect because that means we also got a vegetarian option. So
precisely.
Smart.
Nice.
So you could use the seitan.
Sounds good to me.
Which is good.
Is it? I've never tried.
Seitan.
I mean, I've tried seitan, but
nice sort of coating with
not in the form of wings.
It's good.
Did you say Satan?
Yeah, that too.
Okay, just making sure. So that's considered
we're using Satan's wings. They're hot as hell.
Great.
Yep. You did that.
That was the best marketing you've ever done. Yeah,
I know. I mean, if at some point we're not making money with this podcast anymore, I might as well open a fast food curry wings chain, I guess.
Do it.
Called Satan's Wings.
Satan's Wings, exactly.
Nice.
Which basically only does vegan wings. How cool is that?
Very.
I was going to say nobody would go there, and at this, I was like, "Hang on, that's probably not true because most probably
you probably make a lot of money out of that.
It could be a huge hit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think
anybody out there, if you're starting Satan's Wings, I want to cut. Make it rain.
Well, you've got some time since we're in the past until this airs for you to secure the domain name again.
Yep.
Another domain name we need to buy thanks to the podcast, and you can start the whole process.
Given all these domain names, that might be the reasons we're not making any money.
Yeah, quite a lot of spend going there. People talk about cutting your Azure spend. We need to cut our domain name spend.
We have about 17,500 domains at this point registered, but we look at them as an asset. So, I mean, at some point, they will be.
They're like our friends.
Yes, but that's also a bit sad if you think about it. So, anyways, I gotta go work on a business plan. So I'm sorry I have to cut this meeting short. This was fun, John, getting to know you a bit since we've never met before. Also, I'm very much looking forward to see you again in person next month. Now people know that we also knew John before.
Yes.
Well, next month from from the publishing thingy. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is mid-October.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Great.
This time travel thing, really confusing.
Basically 4 weeks from now.
Agreed.
Not now, but the publishing now.
The publishing now. That'll be cool. Yeah, that's going to be fun that week. I have to find some wings.
Indeed. So, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for coming to the grand opening of Satan's Wings. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone. See you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, folks.